It's not a secret, but it is a journey and a process. And so as we're going, when he's ready, we'll know. And when he's ready, he'll also know.
I'm projecting he's gonna be better than Dak Prescott. That I'm projecting. Yeah.
Guys, y'all know I hate being a prisoner of the moment, but the way this young man is playing right now and the way Cliff Kingsbury is in his ear and dialing up the plays, you're absolutely right. I'm going to take him over anybody else in that division. And I get it. Oh, that's a college offense and it's very, very simplistic. Well, a lot more teams need to make their offense simplistic if it's going to cause their quarterback to play like this young man is playing.
When they get hit, they throw and they duck. But not this man, not Jaden Daniels, not the Heisman Trophy winner, not the man from LSU, not the new Washington Commanders commander. What does he do? He stands there. He delivers. He's got it. Touchdown.
Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC right now. I'm going to repeat again. Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC right now.
Him completing 82% is bound to fall off some.
Right.
But
No one's
but I will say this. All that experience in college translates to the pros. This dude, nothing seems to bother him.
Yo, what it do, what it do, what it do? Did you miss me? It's your boy D Free back with another video. We doing this live stream talking about the divisional rounds. Hey, it was some games on last weekend. It was some good games. A lot of these teams came out and showed out. I mean, I was surprised by what the Houston Texans did, even though I picked the Houston Texans to win. I picked the Rams to win. I was a little upset with how the Green Bay Packers came out and played. They pretty much laid their egg. I don't know if Jordan Love was affected by the injury he had with his hand, but he didn't look good at all on Sunday. I think he threw 2 or 3 interceptions. But yeah, he didn't look good at all. Never mind Chiefs playing Texans, shaking my head. Hey, the Chiefs, they playing against the Texans, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. But I was, even though I was impressed by what Jaden Daniels did all year long, I was very impressed by how poised he was in his first playoff game as a rookie. I mean, even when they made the last second field goal to win the game, he didn't even get excited. He just stood up and walked up out of there. Like, okay, I appreciate that, Quick. Appreciate that. Yeah, he just stood up and walked out of there like it wasn't nothing. I was kind of shocked. I was thinking he was going to be jumping up and down, but he looked like a seasoned veteran out there. He was like, okay, we made the field goal. All right, let's go to the next one. So I mean, I'm very impressed with his confidence and his calm demeanor. It's like nothing seems to rattle him. Even when the team is down, nothing rattles him. He gets up and says, okay, give me the ball. If I got the ball, I know we can go down there and score. I think they said something about he got more last last minute scores in overtime or fourth quarter than any other rookie quarterback in the history of football. I think he's like 9 games where he came down and scored the last minute touchdown or got him in field goal range to win the game. This man is he's unbelievable. Like he set another record in the playoffs. He is the first rookie to start a playoff game, did not turn the ball over, and did not punt the ball. That only happened 3 times in the NFL history. All 3 of them was by Washington this year. That was the first time that it ever happened in the playoffs. This man is doing stuff that has never been done before. Like they literally didn't punt the ball, he didn't turn it over, and they won the game. And he didn't have the best game, but he made it count when he scored when he needed to. He put the team on his back because our running game was terrible. Our running game was horrible. I think they only rushed for like between Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson. I think they rushed for like 60-something yards. I think he had more rushing yards than both of them combined. The running game was terrible, but he put the team on his back and said, "Nah, we're gonna do it." And what I like that the team did, I hope they do it again this week. What I like is they got Terry McLaurin involved early. They got him involved early. I think it was like the first pass that he threw was a bomb to Terry McLaurin, and they connected. And from that point on, they was hitting he was hitting Terry. Every time I turn around, it was a pass to Terry. I'm gonna drop the link for some of the guys that might want to come up. Hold on. Let me drop it in this. I gotta go through this chat over here. Hold on 1 second. But yeah, I mean, the Vikings, I knew they was gonna come back down to earth. Sam Darnold, I said it when I was on Thomas' show last week when we was doing our picks. Marky Dan was there. Prize Fighter was there. And everybody was talking about, a couple of people was talking about how Sam Darnold, he just need to be in the right situation. I like, nah, Sam Darnold, I'm not sold on Sam Darnold. Going against Matthew Stafford, I'm not sold on him. What's going on, 5? I'm not sold on him at all. I was like, nah, I gotta see something. He gotta show me before I can go ahead and believe that he gonna do anything. And exactly what I thought he was gonna do, he did. He went out there and he laid an egg. Hold on 1 second. Let me drop this link for some of the guys that might want to come up. All right. But yeah, he went out there, and if it wasn't for the fact they got that I think it was either the third or maybe the fourth quarter. I think it was like the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter. If they wouldn't have got that touchdown, they would have ended the game with only 3 points on the board. Like they literally could not move the ball. Sam Darnold looked horrible. Vikings definitely need to draft a quarterback. But Sam Darnold was going on, Vaught. Sam Darnold was on a 1-year deal. It wasn't like he signed a long-term deal anyway. He was on a 1-year deal. So they wanted to see how he's going to play. And you got to remember, they also signed Daniel Jones as well. When Daniel Jones he asked to be released from the Giants, the Vikings went out there and picked him up. So he's on the team as well. So I don't know if they looking to have Daniel Jones in there as a quarterback in the future, but they picked him up. Maybe they looking to make him a backup. I'm not sure, but they definitely picked him up. It was an exciting weekend. I mean, a lot of those games outside of the Vikings game and the Green Bay Packers game, the other games was exciting. I mean, the Ravens they look like a powerhouse. I truly don't know who's going to stop those guys from running the ball, because you got to worry about Lamar Jackson and you got to worry about Derrick Henry. I don't think they stop. I don't think nobody stops them, to be honest with you. And that's including my team. I mean, my team will only face them in the Super Bowl. I don't think they will stop them. I think it will be a matter of, can Baltimore stop Washington? And I know people are going to say, well, Baltimore beat Washington earlier in the season. That was the 4th game of the season. And the one thing that I do know is nobody's beat Washington twice. Every time Washington had to face the team the second time, they won. They split with Dallas, they split with the Eagles, and they split with Tampa Bay. Nobody beat Washington twice. You might have beat them once, but it's not a guarantee you're going to beat them twice. So, I mean, hopefully we get that. I mean, I ain't got no problem seeing the Ravens versus Washington. That would be a heck of a game. I'm just looking at the divisional rounds, because like right now Washington is going against Detroit. The Eagles got the Rams. The only thing that scares me with Detroit is the young running back they got. That's the only thing that scares me, because we have problems with stopping the run game. That's the only thing that scares me with Detroit. I'm not scared of Detroit's passing game, because Jared Goff, if you could put pressure in his face, he's like a Kirk Cousins. He'll throw that ball up, and whatever happens, happens. So if you can put pressure in his face, because he doesn't move that well. He will move if there's some space there for him to move, but he's not a scrambling quarterback. He doesn't buy a lot of time back there in the pocket. He has a great line that gives him time, but he doesn't buy a lot of time in the pocket. So if you can put pressure on Jared Goff, you can make him look like Sam Darnold. If you put pressure on, that was one of the reasons why the Rams wanted to get rid of him, because the 49ers kept putting pressure on Jared Goff, and he didn't know how to get away from the pressure. That's the reason why the Rams got rid of him. But the Eagles are playing against the Rams. I was very impressed with the Rams defense. And like I said, I picked the Rams to cover. They end up winning out. But I was very impressed with their defense. Their defense started coming on as of late, and they made a couple of changes in their defense. They moved some people around. I think they moved a couple of linebackers around, and they moved a couple of D-backs around. Gibbs is a problem. They moved a couple of D-backs around, and when they made those changes, their defense has been playing better, much better since they made those changes, because earlier in the season, their defense was giving up a lot of yards, giving up a lot of points. But since they made those changes, their defense has been playing much better. And like I said, I thought the Rams can keep it close, and I said Vikings might be able to pull it out because they had weapons. I'm like, they might be able to pull it out, but I wasn't sold on the point spread that they had the Rams. I think they had the Rams like a 8-point spread or something like that. It was something a little ridiculous, and I was like, I don't know if they're going to cover that. I don't know if the Vikings is going to cover that point spread. So I picked the Rams in the points, but the Rams came out there and let it be known, look, we've been here before. Y'all just now getting here. We've been here before. And it showed. That was the Sam Darnold. I believe that was Sam Darnold's first playoff game. Yeah, it was his first playoff game. And it showed. It showed that he not used to being under that pressure like that. Because what a lot of people have to realize is no matter how bad you might think the team, they got a rookie quarterback, or this team ain't never been there before. All of these teams are the best of their division or their conference, or they the second best in their division or their conference. So these are the best of the best. Regardless how you feel about the team, they still the best of the best. They made it to the playoffs for a reason, because either they're the best in their conference, or the best in their division, or they're the second best in their division. So they made it to the playoffs for a reason. So things that you might be able to get away with during the regular season, you're not going to be able to get away with it as easy in these playoff games because everything's tightened down because now it's either win or go home. And you start to see the cream rise to the top. And some of these teams that we thought was real good, they start to fall by the wayside because they haven't been in this situation before. It's, like the Vikings. Who did Buffalo. Buffalo played against the Broncos. And I knew the Broncos was going to win that game. I knew Buffalo was going to win that game. I was like, nah, I don't care what Bo Nick did throughout this regular season. They're not going in Buffalo and beating no Buffalo. It's just not happening. Not with a rookie quarterback of Bo Nick's caliber. Now, Bo Nick is not a bad quarterback. He had a heck of a rookie season. I believe he's probably going to be second in rookie of the year voting. There's a couple of other people that got a say in that, like the tight end Bowers from the Raiders, the wide receiver Neighbors from the Giants. They had good seasons as well. Bowers had a heck of a season, but it always falls down to it usually comes down to quarterbacks and receivers. Bowers, he's a tight end. He had a heck of a year, but when you look at his season and then you look at Bo Nick's season, you're going to lean more towards Bo Nick because he's a quarterback, he's a rookie, and he's starting. The tight end don't really have to worry about as much. All he got to do is block and run routes. The quarterback got to be able to look at the defense and see what type of scheme they coming with, be able to call out the blitz, be able to make the right read and stuff like that. So it usually leans towards the quarterback. But Bo Nick, he had a heck of a rookie season, but I knew he wasn't up for the challenge against Buffalo. Buffalo, they have a veteran quarterback. They have a veteran squad, period, outside of their running back. They have a veteran squad. Even though Amari Cooper got there late, he's still a veteran. You still got to account for him on the field. And the other receiver, I forgot his name, but he played well as well. So I just didn't think Bo Nick had enough surrounding him to be able to take down the Buffalo Bills. Their defense was pretty good, but when your defense is on the field majority of the time, eventually they're going to get tired. And so now we got the divisional rounds. Like I said, we got Washington versus Detroit. We got Philly versus the Rams. We got Kansas City versus Houston. And we got Baltimore versus Buffalo. I think Baltimore versus Buffalo is going to be the game of the week because those are the two MVP candidates right now, 1 and 2. However you look at it, me personally, I say Lamar is number 1 and Josh Allen is number 2. But some people have it vice versa. But when you look at Lamar's stats, his stats is not even a comparison. His stats is way better than Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a better season record, but that's for the team. That's not just the quarterback. That's defense as well. Because if your defense is playing well, your team can usually win. Baltimore defense haven't been playing well early in the season. They stepped up later on in the season, but they not that same defense that people usually worried about. They not that's not the defense that they have. They let some pieces go, and it kind of showed on defense. C.J. Stroud was another one that stood out to me too. He stepped up because he didn't have a great sophomore season, but when it came to the playoff, he put everything together and he led his team to a victory, and he made more plays Then who did they play against again? They played against the Raiders. I mean, the Ravens played Pittsburgh. I'm trying to remember who they played against. Oh, they played the Chargers. They played the Chargers. I picked Houston to win that game because I wasn't sold on Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, I think this is his second time making it to the playoffs, and both times he got to the playoffs, he looked bad. I don't know if it's the bright lights. I don't know what it is, but the regular season he looks good. When he gets to the playoff, he just looked bad. And the Houston defense didn't cut him no slack. But you got Houston versus Kansas City. I don't know what to think about Kansas City. Now, Kansas City started to show themselves later on in the season, but I don't know if if Houston defense play like they played against the Chargers, Kansas City could be looking at an upset. They could be looking at an upset facing them in the face. So I don't know. Like Kansas City had that season where they just had the luck of the bounce. Like everything seemed to go their way outside. I'm not even counting the referees. I'm just talking about all of the other stuff that happened outside of what the referees was doing. Kansas City had one of those seasons where it was like everything will fall their way when they needed it to. When it came to they needed a team was about to kick a last minute field goal. They blocked the field goal. Team was about to get it. Well, that was from the referee. They had an interception, and I think he had 8 or 9 interceptions called back. They reversed the interceptions. I think it was like 8 or 9. I've never seen that before in a single game. What's going on, T? They was doing that. They did that throughout the whole season. But getting to the divisional round, like I said, if Houston can play the way they played against the Chargers, I think they can give Kansas City a run for their money. I really think they can get them a run for their money. He said, well, happy birthday, old nigga. Appreciate it. They can give Kansas City a run for their money because Kansas City, they got Hollywood Brown, but they don't have that guy in their receiving core that scares you, like when they had Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was somebody that scares you. Now, I know they got D-Hop, but D-Hop is older, and he's not the same D-Hop. D-Hop is more like Larry Fitzgerald at the end of his career. He'll get you those catches, but he's not gonna destroy your secondary like he once did before. But he'll get you those catches when you need it. You need a big catch here and there. He'll get it, but you can cover D-Hop more than you was able to before his injury and before he got older. But he's more like he remind me of a Fitzgerald at the end of his career. He's going to get you those consistent catches here and there. But they don't have nobody that scares you in their receiving core. And their running game, it's okay. It's not what it could have been if what's my guy, the Puerto Rican dude that got injured. If he was there, they could have did some damage as far as the running game. But their running game it's okay. It's average. It ain't nothing that you have to solely game plan against their running game. Hey, we got to make sure we stop him. They don't have that type of running back there right now. If their running back is back and he's 100% healthy, yeah, Pacheco. If their running back is back and he's healthy, then yeah, you got to worry about him because he could break it. He, for some reason, I don't know what it is about him. He's not the biggest running back, and he's not the fastest running back. But for some reason, it's hard to take him down. He be making moves and everything. Yeah, DR and Black. Yeah. So, I'm a go with Kansas City only because they got Patrick Mahomes. He's a veteran. He's been there before. And I think CJ Stroud, he doesn't have enough weapons. He got Nico Collins, but he needs somebody else. I mean, he got Joe Mixon, but he needs another receiver. His guys got hurt. I mean, they was counting on Stephon Diggs to be there. That would have been a great 1-2 punch with Stephon Diggs on one side and Nico Collins on the other side. You would have to double team one of them, but he's not there. So I think he needs a couple more weapons. If his team was fully healthy, or not even fully healthy, but if his team was there, all his pieces was there, I think that they could have probably upset Kansas City, because I think CJ Stroud is good enough where he could pull out an upset over Kansas City. But being though that he don't have all his pieces, I don't think he got enough weapons to be able to do it, because Kansas City still have those veterans over there. They still got Kelsey. They still got Mahomes. And like I said, they got D-Hop. And they got Hollywood Brown. They got pieces there to be able to for Patrick Mahomes to be able to score. He can maneuver his way around the defense with the pieces that he got better than CJ Stroud can. So I'm gonna go with Kansas City in that game. Now we got Baltimore versus the Bills, the battle of the MVPs. Who is going to be the MVP? And I hate to say this, but it's kind of looking like whoever wins this game going to be MVP. That's what it's kind of looking like. And it shouldn't be that way because it's supposed to be the regular season MVP. It's not supposed to be throughout the playoffs and all of that. It's supposed to be regular season. But it's kind of looking like, because I don't think they announced the MVP yet. But it's looking like whoever wins this game, that's who's going to be the MVP. I don't know if Buffalo can beat the Ravens. I don't their defense, I don't think their defense is good enough to be able to stop Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Now they might be able to stop one of them. I don't think they're going to be able to stop both of them. You know, when you got Lamar Jackson doing the read option, is you don't know if it's going to be Derrick Henry. So you putting one person on Derrick Henry and one person on Lamar Jackson. Well, Lamar Jackson going to make that one person miss if he got the ball. Derrick Henry going to run over that one person if he got the ball. So I don't know if you can stop both of them. You can stop one, but I don't think you can stop both of them. And Lamar Jackson, he doesn't have the best receivers, but you give him enough time, he'll be able to find somebody open. He got the nice tight end, the young guy. What is his name? Is it Isley? Likely. He got the young tight end Likely, and then he still got the veteran Mark Andrews. So he can find those guys, and then like I said, he can do like they did this past week. Or what was that, Saturday? Yeah, Saturday they played against Pittsburgh. They pretty much ran the ball the entire time. They threw a couple of passes. I think Lamar threw like 18 times, but they was running the ball. They was running it down Pittsburgh net. They were like, you're gonna have to stop the run. If you can't stop the run, we're just gonna keep doing it. Lamar just kept running the ball. Derrick Henry kept running the ball, and then they brought the backup in. He was running the ball. I'm like, man, are they ever going to throw the ball? I don't think they ever going to throw the ball. LaRandall Jackson Ham. LaRandall Jackson Ham. So I don't think Buffalo wins this game. I think it's going to be the AFC Championship game. I think it's going to end up being Baltimore versus Kansas City. And I think Baltimore can beat Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, but that's what I think it's going to be. I think Kansas City is probably going to win their game by 6 points. I think it's going to be like 17, 7, maybe 7 points, but it'd probably be something like. No, I think they probably win by. I think they probably win by 7 points. I think it's going to be like 17-10. I think Kansas City will win 17-10. What's going on, A1? He said happy 60th. But I think it's going to be like 17-10 Kansas City. I think Baltimore is going to run the score up a little bit. I think it's going to be more like 27-21. I think they're going to win by 6. I think it's going to be like 27-21 Baltimore. Now we're going over to the NFC. We got Philadelphia Eagles versus the Rams in the early game. They playing at 4:30. Philly got a lot of weapons. The problem is Jalen Hurts. I don't know what it is with Jalen Hurts. He ain't using his weapons. I don't know if he's still grimacing from the concussion Washington gave him. I don't know what it is, but AJ Brown is not getting the ball like that. It's like it's almost like he don't even like AJ Brown that much no more. He been throwing the Devontae Smith more than he been throwing to the AJ Brown. So I don't know what's going on over there in Philly. I mean, they still got Saquon Barkley, but I don't know if Saquon Barkley going to run around like he did this past weekend, because the Rams, like I said, the Rams defense, they made that switch and their defense been stepping up. Their defense been stepping up like a mother. So I don't. Is the Rams going to pull up an upset? If Jalen Daniels. If Jalen Hurts doesn't get his receivers the ball and he's getting blitzed the way the Rams was blitzing Sam Darnold, I could see the Rams pulling out an upset. I can see the Rams winning this with a last-second field goal. I can see this being a 17-14 win for the Rams. And that's what I'm going to go with, 17-14 Rams. I see the Rams pulling out an upset because I don't like how the Eagles didn't look that dominant against who did they just play? We had Tampa. Rams played against who the heck did the Eagles just play? Y'all let me know in the chat. Who did the Eagles just play? I'm drawing a blank right now. He said Rams, baby. Yeah, I think it. I don't think it's going to be that high. I don't think it's going to be 31-28. I think it's going to be like 17-14. I think it's going to be a defensive game. Now, the Eagles do have – Washington played Tampa Bay. The Eagles do have the number one defense in the regular season. They do have the number one defense in the regular season. But I don't know if that defense is going to be able to hold up the entire game. Because if they constantly getting back on the field and they on the field majority of the game, they ain't play no daggone Chicago, boy. Chicago was 4-13. No, they was 5-12. They said Chicago. They was 5-12. I don't think who made it. Green Bay. That's what it was. Green Bay. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Green Bay played like I said earlier in the live. Jordan Love played bad, and Jalen Hurts didn't play that much better. Now he didn't have all of the turnovers that Jordan Love had, but he didn't play that much better. He played better. Let me look up Jalen Hurts' stats. Green Bay versus Eagles playoff game. But I mean, I could see wild card playoff game right here. Jordan Love was 20 for 33, 212 yards. Like I said, Jalen Hurts, 13 for 21, 131 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. That's what I'm saying. He didn't play. Jalen Hurts didn't play all that well. It's just Green Bay didn't play good at all. Green Bay played bad. They look like they weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs. So I'm gonna go with the Rams. The Rams still got a good defense. I mean, the Eagles still got a good defense. Like I said, they were the number one defense for a reason. So I'm not going to disrespect their defense because the Eagles only won that game 22-10. They only won by 12 points. And like I said, that was because Green Bay had so many turnovers. They was fumbling the ball left and right. But I'm gonna go with the Rams for the upset, 17-14. Which brings us to Saturday night game at 8:00. Washington versus Detroit. Detroit coming off a bye. They were the number one seed. They had a bye. Detroit been talking real greasy. They've been talking real greasy. Like I said, the only thing that scares me is Gibbs. And being though that the starting running back is back, Gibbs is going to be the backup running back. So he's not going to be on the field as much. And I hope they keep him off the field. But like I said, they don't scare me like you would think that they probably would. They have a nice squad. No disrespect to the Detroit Lions at all. But like I said before, if you can put pressure on Jared Goff, he'll throw the ball up and have turnovers. I mean, he lost to Tampa Bay earlier this year because they put pressure on him. If you put pressure on Jared Goff, he will lay an egg out there. And like I said, Jaden Daniels, if we down 3 points or down less than a touchdown and he got the ball in his hands the last drive, I'm not betting against Jaden Daniels. He hasn't let me down yet. I'm not betting against him. I mean, if somebody want to take a bet, I'm willing to take a bet with you. If Jaden Daniels got the ball the last drive and they down less than a touchdown, and you want to bet that they don't score, I'm willing to take that bet with any of y'all. Because until I see that he can't score with the ball in his hand and they down less than a touchdown to win the game, I'm not betting against that man. But I think the key to Washington winning that game is by eliminating the amount of drives that Detroit has. The more we have long, sustaining drives, the better our chances is winning. if Jaden Daniels can do what he's been doing, where he had 8-minute drives, 17 plays, we winning that game. We winning that game because Detroit can't score if they ain't on the field. If they ain't on the field, they can't score. Jaden Daniels ain't throwing no pick sixes like that. I don't know. I don't think he threw one this year. No, he hasn't thrown a pick six. They haven't fumbled the ball for a touchdown. So, I mean, if Detroit not on the field, they can't score. So if they can have long sustaining drive, I think Washington can beat Detroit. Now, if Washington can't, and this is going to be another game where might not be no punts in this game. This might be the first playoff game where there's absolutely no punts because both of these head coaches like going forward on fourth down. The Detroit Lions, they go for it on fourth down all the time. Washington go for it on fourth down all the time. The difference is Washington is the better team. They're the best team on fourth down. They I believe they're 82% or 88% on fourth down. So they're the better team on fourth down, having to get the ball to the first down marker. So, or a touchdown. So we might not see no punts, but if Detroit can run their offense, there's going to it could be some problems for Washington, especially if Marshawn Lattimore played like he played last week. I don't know if he was still lingering from the hamstring pull or it was just an off game. I don't know. But if he played like he played last week, it could be bad if Detroit have the type of if they can run the offense that they want to run. But I think it's gonna be me and BC in this joint talking about who got the better team going to the Super Bowl. I think it's gonna be me and BC. I'm gonna go with Washington. I think Washington will pull out another upset. And I told y'all, I said this before. I said if Washington make it past Detroit, they're going to the Super Bowl. If Washington make it past Detroit, there is no team beating Washington in the playoffs in the NFC. Now, the AFC, I have to see what the matchups is to see if we sustain any injuries and all that. But far as the NFC, if we make it past Detroit, I don't care if it's Philly or the Rams. I don't see neither one of them beating us. I don't see neither one of them beating us if we make it past Detroit. Not a single one. The Eagles, we already know how to beat them. We beat them before. We know how to beat them. The Rams, the Rams never faced us, so they don't know what to expect from Jaden Daniels. They can look at film and say, oh, well, he like to do this, he like to do that, but that's off script. That's not the script. So you don't know what he's going to do off script. You can guess what he might do off script, but you don't really know. That's why it's called off script. You don't know. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, BC. I think Washington might pull out another upset. It might be another squeaker. We might win this game. We might win this game 31-34. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be 31-34. Because Detroit defense is not that good. They can be beat over top. I can see Terry McLaurin having a 100-yard game. I can even see De'Ami Brown having a big game, the same way he did this past week. I can see both of them having big games because they're not good over top. Now, they have good corners where they do pick the ball off, but it's usually because they're double teaming one or the other. So if they double teaming, I think Jaden Daniels is going to check it down to where they're going to have to bring 8 people in the box or 9 people in the box because they got to worry about, okay, is Jaden Daniels going to run the ball or is Brian Robinson going to run the ball or Austin Eckler? Is he going to dump it out to one of the running backs coming out the backfield? So they're going to bring 8 people in the box and they like to blitz. I think they blitz like 52% of the time during the regular season. They blitz like 52% of the time. But Jaden Daniels is one of the best against the blitz. He's one of the best against the blitz. He said, I'm rooting for Washington. I officially hate the Lions. Yeah, and that's another thing, too. Washington got a chip on their shoulder. They got a chip on their shoulder. I mean, not all of them. Well, not all of them, just a couple of them. Because we wanted to get Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson said, man, I'm not going to play for some daggone basketball people, talking about Josh Harris and Magic Johnson. And then Jaden Daniels was like, dang, you don't believe in me? I'm the number 2 draft pick. You could have been my head coach. So they got a chip on their shoulder because Ben Johnson didn't want to come to Washington. So I would love to see Washington beat Detroit and just put it all in Ben Johnson's face. But yeah, so I got Washington winning 34-31. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think Washington going to make it. I think Jaden Daniels, this story doesn't end just yet for Jaden Daniels for this season. I think he's having the best rookie quarterback season of all time, and I don't think the story ends just yet. It would be even better if he can make it all the way to the Super Bowl, be the first quarterback to ever start the whole season, start the playoffs, and make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Never been done before. So, but I got Washington beating Detroit. But that's all I pretty much got. I just wanted to come up here on my birthday, chop it up about this football. We do have a couple of coaching jobs available. I could get into the little coaches and stuff. We got a couple of coaching jobs available. We got one of them already filled because there was 7 vacancies. It was the Patriots, Dallas as of late, the Raiders, the Jets, the Bears, the Saints, and the Jaguars. Well, we all know the Patriots filled their vacancy with Mike Vrabel. I know T don't like that because that was his head coach. And we all knew that was going to happen. I mean, once the Patriots said they were going to interview Mike Vrabel, we knew that he was going to get the job. Former Patriot. I think he's in their Ring of Hall of Fame. So we knew he was going to get the job. But now you got the Jets, the Raiders, the Bears, the Jags, the Saints, and Dallas. A lot of people thinking that Coach Prime is going to go to Dallas. I'm not sold on Coach Prime going to Dallas just yet. He put out a tweet saying he spoke to Jerry. He loves speaking to Jerry. He loves Jerry. But after he hung up the phone, he thought about it and he said, "You know what? My team is in Colorado. So I don't think he's going to go to Dallas. I mean, Jerry could persuade him because Jerry has one of those type of personalities where he can persuade people to come. But I don't think he's going to persuade Coach Prime just yet. Maybe next year, but I don't think this year. Especially, I think Dion wants to go wherever his son is at. I don't think he want to coach against his son. Because if his son is playing, let's say his son gets drafted by the Giants and he's coaching the Dallas Cowboys, I don't think he want to coach against his son. He know everything his son does. I don't think he want to do that. So I think Dion wants to go wherever his son is. But they was also talking about Jason Witten as a possibility for Dallas head coaching job. I don't know. I don't know about Jason Witten as a head coach. I don't know how I feel about that. I ain't saying that he wouldn't be a good coach. I just don't see him in that role. I don't see him in that role to be a head coach. I don't know. What y'all think? Y'all think Jason Witten will be a good fit for Dallas? Whoever Dallas get, it got to be somebody that's willing to deal with Jerry Jones, because you know Jerry Jones is going to be the GM. He's not giving it up. You know Jerry Jones is going to make all the calls as far as who's coming to the team. You might give a suggestion, but it's going to be up to him if he want to get him or not. So it's got to be somebody that's willing to deal with Jerry. So I think it's going to be a former player or somebody that used to work with the team. The only way I can see it being somebody other than that is if it's somebody coming out of college. That's the only way I can see it being somebody other than a former player or somebody that used to work with the team. It got to be somebody that came out of college. I don't see anybody else as far as the coaches that's available. I don't see anybody willing to come to Dallas knowing that Jerry is going to make all the calls. Ben Johnson is not going there because he already said wherever he goes, he needs to have the say of who the GM is, because he wants the GM that's going to be working right along the side of him. They got to be on one accord. So we know Ben Johnson's not going there. Now, the Bears are looking to hire Mike McCarthy. So he just lost his job at Dallas. The Bears are looking to pick him up because the Bears was looking to get Cliff Kingsbury and they was looking to get Ben Johnson. But like I said, Ben Johnson wants to be able to make the call of who the GM. Mike McCarthy, I think it might be good the first couple of years. The problem with Mike McCarthy is he needs to have a good defensive coordinator because he's not a defensive guy. He's an offensive guy. So it all depends on who his defensive coordinator is. Because the Bears right now, barring anybody leaving, the Bears has a nice defensive squad. They got some pieces over there. So they just got to have the right defensive coordinator to make those pieces work. But I don't think that's a bad spot for Mike McCarthy going to Chicago. They got a young quarterback. He needs some guidance right now because the head coach they had, he didn't know what to do with Williams. He had Williams looking like he didn't belong in the NFL. So they need somebody that's going to do it now. The Raiders, I don't know. Maybe they go after a defensive-minded coach like Aaron Glenn or Ryan Flores. But Aaron Glenn said he wants to go to the Jets. So he might be the candidate for the Jets because that's where he said he wants to go, because the Jets do have some defensive players. I don't know who they're going to draft as a quarterback because there's a couple of players already that's on the Jets. They said Aaron Rodgers coming back. They gone. They're not staying there. So I don't know who he draft as a quarterback or who he picks up in free agency. I don't know who's a free agent besides Sam Darnold. There's gonna be a couple of other people that's gonna be free agents as far as quarterbacks, but I don't know no top quarterbacks like that. So that's a tricky move for the Jets as far as who's gonna be their quarterback. Maybe they hit on somebody coming out of the draft. They should just stuck with Mike. What the hell is bringing in a new head coach going to do? They're going to be a cap. That Diggs, CD, Zach Martin, and Michael Parsons right now he's still on his rookie deal, so they can hit him up for a 5th-year option, or they can franchise him. So Michael Parsons, he's on a rookie deal. He has one more year left of his rookie deal. After that, then after next year, they can either hit him with a franchise tag or they can pick up his 5th-year option because he gets a 5th-year option because he was in the first round. So I'm not sure what they do because I mean everybody get a little bonus on their salary cap for next year or for this off season. They get a little bonus, so that gives them a little bit of leeway. But the problem with Mike McCarthy is they didn't want to extend him. Mike McCarthy wanted an extension. He wanted some security because he got to get a coaching staff. You can't, like, he got to get offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, or whatever he sees that needs to be tweaked. He needs to be able to bring people in there. When you on a 1-year deal, you're not really being able to get people because they like, okay, well, if I go over here this year and then they get rid of you next year, I just left a situation I was in and now I'm out of a job. So they gotta he wanted an extension and they wasn't willing to give him an extension. So they let him go. Well, they part ways. So that was the whole situation with Mike McCarthy. He wanted a job security and Jerry wasn't willing to give it to him. And it's not really his fault that his quarterback got hurt. It's not his fault that Jerry paid his quarterback $240 million. I mean, he said smart business is to get it down now. If you're going to pay him, they always do dig out contract negotiation and dig their way out and pay in the long run. Yeah, but I don't like I said, I don't know how much Mike McCarthy contract would have been if they would have gave him an extension. I don't know if he was asking for more money, so I don't know. But like I said, I do know that was because his contract was up, or his contract was up, and they had a certain amount of time to extend his contract or let him go. So when they didn't extend his contract, he said, "Okay, I'm just going to walk. And right now, the Bears is looking to get him. Yeah, he wanted more years. Yeah, I think he wanted like 3 or 4 years. So when they didn't offer him the extension for more years because Jerry like, well, I had you here for these years and you haven't produced a championship. Well, it's not that easy to just produce a championship like that when you still building a team because he inherited that team from the last head coach. And it's the pieces that you're putting in. It's not the pieces that he wants, it's the pieces that you're putting in. And that's the problem with Jerry Jones. He's putting pieces in that he wants, but he's not putting pieces in that fits the coaching scheme. With the coaching scheme, the coaches need certain players that makes their scheme work. If you're not giving them the players that make their scheme work, they're never going to win. They might win a few games here and there. They might even win a division. But when it comes to the playoffs and they playing against those teams who actually fit their coaching scheme, you're playing against the best of the best. Now you got a team that's just put together versus a team that grew together. That's the difference. The Dallas Cowboys were put together. You got guys like the Green Bay Packers, the 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, who else? The Rams, you got the Detroit Lions. Those teams grew together. Like AJ Brown came there, 4 years ago? 3-4 years ago? Or it's like 2 or 3 years ago. AJ Brown came there, and AJ Brown already knew Jalen Hurts. They played in college, so he already knew Jalen Hurts. It wasn't like that was something that he had to get used to throwing it to AJ Brown. They already knew each other. They already had chemistry, so they just added another piece. Same thing with Saquon Barkley. They just added another piece. The core squad is already there. They just added another piece. All these people that Jerry Jones is bringing in. It's people that he wants to bring in. He picking up this person. He picking up that person. He picking up that person. Letting that one go. Let that one go. Let me pick up him. So he's putting pieces together instead of letting them grow together. You giving daggone Dak Prescott $240 million contract fully guaranteed. You ain't gonna never be able to pay the people that you want to stay there because you got contracts like that. He said Mike McCarthy deserves to lead that clown show. Man is a Hall of Fame just based on record. He didn't deserve Cowboy Hill. Wound up paying in the long run. They did this shit back twice. They paid CD after Justin Jefferson and AJ Brown. They knew they had to pay CD. I don't know why they waited on CD Lamb. I would have gave CD Lamb his contract first. I would have extended him during the season. I wouldn't have waited until after the season when you know he's going to be looking to get paid more money. I would have extended him. That's what I would have did. I would have extended him. I would have said, okay, well, we want to extend you for 4 more years, or we want to extend you for 5 more years, and we're going to give you a $40 million signing, guarantee bonus. But your contract is going to go up from you making whatever he was making to making like another $10 million more. Now you got to compete with what AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson got, because he's like, hold up, I'm better than them. My stats is just as good or better than theirs. Why they get paid more than I do? So yeah, you have stuff like that. So, but I hope everybody is doing. Oh yeah, what's going on, Jose? But yeah. So I don't know. And then the Jags and the Saints. The Saints right now is a mess. The Saints is a mess. It's like they definitely are in rebuild mode. They're in rebuild mode. I don't know what the Saints are going to do as far as their head coach. Now, they can go out there and get somebody and say, you know what? We got to blow this stuff up and just start over. We got to blow everything up and start over. We got a quarterback, because they're not letting Dirk Carr go nowhere. So we got a quarterback. We got a running back. He's aging, but he's still good right now. He's still serviceable right now. So we got to find his replacement, and we got to get some receivers. We got one young receiver. We need to get a couple of more receivers, and then build up that offensive line. They gotta start building that team up. So whatever coach they get, they got to get a coach that knows how to put a team together. That's what they need. They might go get Ron Rivera. Yeah, Saints gonna be mad as hell. They go get Ron Rivera. The Saints fans be mad as hell. Ron Rivera show up at their press conference saying, "I want to thank the organization for taking a chance with me." I went here from Case Avoid for like 2 weeks straight. Case Avoid probably say, you know what? I'm not even going to Deep Freeze channel. A1 gonna be sitting there roasting because they got daggone Ron Rivera. He was like, hey, we ain't tell y'all to pick him up. We told y'all he was trash. We let him go. Told y'all he was trash. Y'all decided to pick up our trash. So you pick up trash. Sometimes that's what you get. You get trash. Sometimes you might find a jewel in that trash, but most of the time when you pick up trash, that's what you get, trash. Tugboat Ron is a disgrace. Hey, I'm just saying, somebody gonna pick him up. He might go to the Raiders. Somebody gonna pick Ron Rivera up. They're gonna say, you know what? He's a guy that started that turnaround for Washington. He started to turn around that organization. He got rid of a lot of things. They started moving in the right direction, and then they went ahead and got rid of the owner and brought a whole new staff in it. So somebody gonna pick Ron Rivera up. Mark my words, he's gonna be on somebody's team. He might not be a head coach. He might be a defensive coordinator, but he's going to be on somebody's team. Watch what I tell you. He's going to be on somebody's team. He said, hold on. What you just say, Beast? Make sure to see that from the beginning. Yeah. Hey, he might be on somebody's squad, but I appreciate everybody coming through. I'm definitely going to be dropping more live streams this a new year. I took a break on my channel because I was doing some other things. I'm still doing those things, but I'm making this more of a football and basketball channel. I'm gonna be talking NBA as well. I'm gonna be calling games over here, live games, whether it's basketball or football. I'm gonna be calling live games. I'm gonna be giving y'all the updates on the free agencies and draft picks and mock drafts. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of things over here different from what I've been doing as far as just doing boxing talk over here. I'm gonna be doing a lot more other sports, and I'll be doing boxing over there on BBO's channel with BBO, Marky Dan, Prize Fighter, and Crush. But I appreciate everybody coming through, celebrating my birthday with me. It's fun. I don't really do too many birthday parties or anything like that. I just chill with the family. Next year for the 50th birthday, I will be going out of state. I'll be taking a cruise or whatever, so I won't be here my next birthday. But I might shoot a couple of short live streams while I'm on the ship. But I appreciate everybody for coming through, and I see y'all on the next one. It's your boy D Free. I'm gonna change the name of my squad. Name of my channel. It's gonna be. I'm gonna call it D Free Podcasting. D Free Sports Podcasting. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
It's not a secret, but it is a journey and a process. And so as we're going, when he's ready, we'll know. And when he's ready, he'll also know.
I'm projecting he's going to be better than Dak Prescott. That I'm projecting. Yeah.
Guys, y'all know I hate being a prisoner of the moment, but the way this young man is playing right now and the way Cliff Kingsbury is in his ear and dialing up the plays, you're absolutely right. I'm going to take him over anybody else in that division. And I get it. Oh, that's a college offense and it's very, very simplistic. Well, a lot more teams need to make their offense simplistic if it's going to cause their quarterback to play like this young man is playing.
When they get hit, they throw and they duck. But not this man, not Jaden Daniels, not the Heisman Trophy winner, not the man from LSU, not the new Washington Commanders commander. What does he do? He stands there. He delivers.
He's got it! Touchdown!
Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC right now. I'm going to repeat again. Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in the NFC right now.
Him completing 82% is bound to fall off some.
Right. Sure.
But
no one's
but I will say this. All that experience in college translates to the pros. This dude, nothing seems